Hello and welcome back to today's episode of Crypto. Oh my God, it's a short but sweet one. There's some crazy news going on. Let's hop right into it. Bye. So I want to open with what I think is a really big macro narrative, which is that Robinhood flips Coinbase in market cap. It's a simple metric. This is obviously the share value. This is a monetary equivalent of the success of the applications themselves. I do think that Robinhood is coming out with really novel and innovative product lines, and the second they flip on their own L1 or L2, I mean, the trading capacity is endless. Coinbase, on the other hand, has been notorious for taking egregious fees. They just had that massive KYC exploit, which kind of full stop tells me that you shouldn't be trading on this exchange. Now, that being said, I do think we're going to see a lot more news coming out of Robinhood as they gear up to be what looks like the most dominant investment application of the current generation, and so on and so forth. Now, moving on from that, we have the news of the day, which is that Circle IPO'd on the New York Stock Exchange. What's really crazy about this is that the investment bank process, really, when they shop around for buyers and bidders in the market, they set a price. That initial price was $27. They boosted it to $31 pretty late in the game, and it launched this morning, and holy fucking shit, it's trading at $94 for a plus 200% gain on the morning. This is Circle. What they do is they just take dollars, they hold them in storage, and they mint a USDC. It's essentially a bank account where the yield does not get shared back to the user. And it's no surprise that people are buying up this equity because that's a great business. But I really don't know what this signals for the sector. I mean, obviously the buy side appetite for crypto-based products, blockchain-based things is there. It's just, is it inside the assets themselves? Like, is this all of our altcoin wealth going straight into Circle? Maybe. It's a much safer bet. Again, it's essentially just a bank account where they keep all the yield, so it's a really solid business. Stablecoins know no geographical boundaries. They're cheap. You can move them across the world for cents on the dollar, even micro cents on the right networks. And well, this might be stealing the thunder from a lot of the altcoins. We're really looking at Bitcoin and stablecoins in this cycle, for better or for worse. Now, Rug Radio has a nice little breakdown of it, which is that IPO price at $31 a share, opened at $69, holy moly. But what I really do like is that it got halted 3 times due to volatility. So at $88, 88 again, and 103. This means this thing was just going so nuts. Probably a lot of day trading volume on it because it's highly volatile. But I mean, the demand is there, and I'm sure we'll see Tether follow suit. Kraken will launch something to that effect. Obviously, Donald Trump and USD one or whatever it's called coming out of Truth Social definitely going to do the same thing, because if there's a grift to take advantage of, that man is going to do it while he simultaneously implodes the country. And it's very interesting to see Elon making a pivot, as they're clearly going to continue adding to the debt, further breaking the dollar and the monetary system of the fiat USD, and well, maybe validating Bitcoin buys. I don't know. Time will tell. Now, one fun thing, aside from all this financial updates, that I really want to dive into is Jonathan Mann. He's super cool. He's been around in crypto as long as I have. He's always been a presence. But what he does is he writes one song a day. I happen to really like them. I think they're really fun. And he broke the Guinness record for putting out a song a day. And back in the 2017, 2016 bull run of NFTs, he actually sold these song a days as NFTs. Now, all of this comes back to illuminate this story that he tells, which is a crypto tax nightmare, that suddenly he just sold these NFTs. It was an abundance of desire and buy-side pressure. He didn't expect it. It seemed like something amazing, right? But the fact of the matter was he sold it for Ethereum. So he received this volatile asset. Now, taxes, when you receive something as income, when somebody buys something off you in crypto, you owe the IRS income tax on those assets. So the problem was he sold when ETH was very high up, and very immediately the Ethereum price altered, and suddenly he winds up with a tax bill that's greater than what he says is his income for the past 10 years combined. And I do think this is very problematic as we move towards really a more volatile asset world. Obviously, we have more sports betting, more crypto betting happening on apps like Robinhood, just on mobile, and the younger generations are leaning into this as the only path to wealth creation because the rest of the social promise has really been broken around them. But Jonathan's come out and at least made something positive here. He's got this awesome website, which is actually a mint for a new NFT. He's very on top of these things. I do think he's also an amazing AI video maker, and I do appreciate the people that are leaning into the artistic parts of that. But you can come onto this website, 6,000 Song a Day World. You can play the Crypto Tax Nightmare game, which I actually find to be really fun, and it kind of encapsulates his story in an 8-bit tale, or I do recommend hop in here, watch Song 6000. So doing 6,000 song a days. This is number 6,000. It's a really fully fleshed out storyline about his arc of making $3 million in a day, owing about $1 million for tax, losing all of that money, doubling down, trying to figure out how to pay the tax, losing even further, and realizing that his wife's retirement account is on the line. They could put a lien on his house, all because of this tech experimentation that just really backfired. And there's no reason for the tax code to be this burdensome. They could really just be taxing on each spend. It makes no sense. It's something that I wish would be addressed, but he just hits the nail on the head with this artistic rendition. Obviously, the song's kind of dope. His use of AI, very, very cool. And I highly recommend giving it a view. I'll drop that in the sources. Please follow it. Give Jonathan Mann a follow. And if you want, buy into his NFT. They're usually very cheap. He hasn't had the same success he's had in the past, but the man's heart is there and he deserves success if anyone in this industry does. With that being said, we're going to go into the weekend. There's a lot of Bitcoin volatility. James Wynn and the $1 billion long is about to get fully liquidated. He claims they're hunting him because you can actually see these Bitcoin dips going right to his liquidation price when he then adds a little bit more. Who knows what's going on? There's no doubt that the jobs report, which just came in poorly, is not benefiting the macro ecosystem. The 10-year bond yield is going up. Inflation is very obviously a side effect of these tariffs. As the tariff prices creep into reality, people are starting to notice it more. Not only that, El Trumpo is getting his ass kicked in the China deal trade, and it's starting to look like there might be a lot of capitulation. Now, with Elon coming out against him, the real narrative there is only just beginning. So there's a lot of fun to be had, probably a lot of pain with that fun, but I will be here keeping on top of it, wishing you the best. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow.